and it's a slow delivery to the backward point area, and they'll come back comfortably for the second run. So the runs have been flowing in this over. One, a no ball, and then a 4. Fielder should have stopped it, and so the over has come to an end. And at the end of the over, we have had so far completed some 4 overs have been completed. Yes, 4 overs have been completed. There's 6 to come. I don't think by what we've seen so far, Bethesda will need the 6 remaining overs before they get up to that score of 61. 61, the target, 35 for no wicket after 4.
Yes, and a very good over for the CUB Bethesda Golden Eagles. There we saw Darren Benter aggressively going after the bowler. He hit a 4 in that over. However, also Shanisha Hector was guilty of bowling that no ball over the waist, and that would have given away an additional 4 runs to the batting team. So she ended up having an expensive over after having a very good first over where she only conceded 4 runs. This second over she conceded 18 runs, and 14 runs, and that gave Bethesda even another push towards the winning total, and in a sense giving them some measure of comfort in approaching this very low total for victory.
Shemroy Griffith is into the attack. He will bowl from the southern end of the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium, trying to stem the flow of runs, because it has certainly picked up in the last couple of overs. They're 35 for no wicket, chasing 61 to win the match, the 3rd match of this evening. In one of the earlier games, New Winthrops made a winning start to their campaign. They beat Empire by 9 wickets, an emphatic win. Empire made 80, and Winthrops replied with 81 for 1. Jermaine Otto was the batting star. He made 33 not out of 23. Here is Shemroy Griffith bowling right arm around the wicket, and his first delivery is just nudged away into the onside, and the batsmen who have been doing very well in running between the wickets again completed a single. Score 36 for no wicket at the start of the 5th.
Yes, just a gentle start there by Griffith. Again, Warner not trying to do too much, just working the ball into the gaps and getting the singles, and he has continued in that vein. Again, there's no need for him to do anything extra. Just continue doing that, and they should be able to win the game comfortably.
Griffith to Benter, and Benter again just looking for a single, allowing the ball to come onto the face of the bat and just angling it down to short 3rd man. And Eason Warner was there responding to the call for a single. So the score is now 37 for no wicket.
Yes, and other than the first, in the first or second over where Eason Warner did not respond to a call by Benter, since then the running has really been effective and efficient.
Shemroy Griffith, right arm around the wicket, and Eason Warner gives him the charge, but doesn't do anything extravagant, just comes forward and strokes it nicely, gently, up towards the long off area, and another run had.
Yes, and I think the fact that Eason Warner advanced on the wicket was not so much anything else but the fact that Shemroy Griffith does not come on to the bat, so he just wanted to feel more comfortable in playing the shot.
He's over the wicket to a right-hander, ball outside the off stump and called wide. Shemroy Griffith just goes on one knee there, as if he's pleading to the umpire to reverse the decision. He was saying that he wasn't wide enough.
I think the umpire was a bit harsh with that call. That ball did not seem to be that wide. It didn't seem as if it was outside of that white line. But again, I'm not on the field of play.
Oh, I was just about to add that. This ball is driven into the offside, and they'll get a single because we're some distance away from the action. We're behind these glass. Well, this glass, which is
we're some distance away, but we're certainly not blind.
Not only it's a glass, but it's also tinted glass.
Yeah, but I don't think we're blind that we cannot see. We still are able to see the action on the field.
Yeah. So here is Griffith, and it's outside the off stump, steer down to third man, and they'll get a run. The return fired towards the stumps of the keeper's end, missed the stumps and was backed up in the onside. So score going up closer and closer to that mark. It's now 45 for no wicket, 45 for no wicket. We have had 5 overs, so they need 16 runs to win the match. 16 runs to win from 5 overs, and that should, as they say, Vinci, a piece of cake.
Well, yes, at this stage we would certainly say that, because the bowlers for the Boland's team have not been really causing any discomfort for the batsmen. The batsmen are going along comfortably, and they certainly look at this moment as if they're going to easily canter home for victory. Current run rate being 9 runs per over, and it's at the start of the innings they required just 6 runs per over for victory, and so they're well on their way to victory.
Yes, and in stark contrast, the required rate is 3.2 knot, and we have seen some very good running between the wickets, so that asking rate could really be had without even a boundary being scored if they continue that sort of trend of just dropping the ball and running, pushing it into the gaps. It has really been a very good example of what should be done in the T10 format.
And it's all about assessing the particular match conditions. If you are required to score quickly, then you certainly have to do that. If you're required to just push the ball around and get to your victory target, then you do that.
So over number 6 has started, and we have a new bowler at this end, Shanisha Hector, having completed her quota of 2. So Athil is into the attack. Athil bowling from this end. He's bowling spin. Looking at the field, he may well be bowling off spin, because there are 3 fielders, 2 certainly on the boundary at on the leg side. Well, 3. There's a long on in place as well. Ball just steered down to a backward point by Benter for another run. It's now on to 40. What is it? 46?
46.
46 for no wicket. So he may be bowling off spin.
Looks to me like he's bowling leg spin.
Bowling leg spin?
Yes. From the way that ball straightened on the pitch, it looks as if he might be trying to turn it away from the from the right-handed batsman.
His name is Klasky Athil.
Yes, it's turning into the left-handed batsman, so it's actually leg spin that he's bowling.
Yeah. Yes, there are 2 fielders now on the boundary for Ethan Warner, the left-hander. There's a square leg in place. There's a deep, straight mid-wicket, and there's a long on. So here is Athil. The leg spin is in, and this one is steered down to third man, and the return is 5. The third man is very, very short, and he just could not prevent the run. And Darren Benter was running to the danger end, was in no danger whatsoever because he was so fast.
Yes, he fired that in, but he seemed to have hit more turf than anything else.
47 for the wicket. Athil is in, and this is a defensive push, just allowing the ball to hit the face of the bat. Benter, no concern whatsoever, because they're well ahead of the rate and they've been doing well. He'll get a run as he turns the ball into the mid-wicket, into the square leg region, backward square in fact, and he'll come back for the second. So just allowing the ball to come onto him, and then just rolling the wrist and getting it down to the vacant backward square position. The fielder at the square leg, on the square leg boundary, having to run around to do the honors. So we have had now 6 overs completed. The score has pushed on to 49. 49 for no wicket. It means that they need now, 12 runs to win?
Yes.
12 runs
to win.
at a rate of 3 runs per over.
Yes, and again, this over was a very tight, some fairly tight over. 4 runs only coming from it, but with the start that the Golden Eagles have had so far, they can afford 1 or 2 overs like this and still get to the victory target.
And they will be rebounding after their defeat last night. They looked to have been on course for victory against Pickett's Crushers, but they missed out by 4 runs. And they would have been certainly upset about the fact that they did not achieve the victory last night. But they've rebounded very, very quickly with what should be a comfortable win in their second game against Boland's. Boland's having made just 60 for 6. Anthony Martin bowled well again. This is short and pulled away massively, but he'll get only 1. Eason Warner pulling the ball down to the backward square position. The fielder having to run around to his right to get there. Got an accommodating bounce, and the batsman crossed for 1. Eason Warner, we look at the individual scores. We haven't given that to you for a while. Darren Bent is on 28 and Warner is on 10. Bent on 28. He's the predominant scorer. He comes in to strike, and field is being rearranged as the right-hander comes into face. And it's Earl Waldron, veteran Earl Waldron, who is bowling. He's definitely bowling off spin. And Darren Bent is looking to just guide the ball away, trying to stay leg side of the ball and guide it, but not being able to effect the stroke. And the wicketkeeper was there to do the honors. Here is Earl Waldron, former Leeward Islands player, and Bente is cutting the ball away down to the backward point area, and they'll come back for the second. Yes, they will. They feel that they're coming off the boundary and looking there to get the ball quickly into the wicketkeeper. Took his eyes off the ball at a crucial moment, and he overran the ball. And I don't think it would have mattered because Bente was back in a flash. So he goes into the 30s. He's on to 30. And the 50 coming up with that, 50 had come up earlier. Now it's 52. And Bente is smashing the ball. Looking to smash it. Missing it outside the line of the off stump. Thought he had made contact. And he did not. Played an aggressive drive at the delivery from Waldron outside the line of the off stump. So he remains on 30. As Waldron coming in from an angle. The off spin is into Bente, and Bente is hitting this one eerily down to the long off position. Ball falls well short of the fielder, and he gets a run for it. I think he was looking to get maybe a 4 or 6 the way he played that particular stroke, but not being able to impart the timing that he wanted.
Yes, he is, but I have a concern about that type of approach. Sometimes players have to consider finishing the game.
53 for the wicket, and Eason Warner is clipping the ball towards straightish mid-wicket, can't score.
Yeah, consider finishing the game. It develops a particular attitude and approach to the game. Finishing the game and not thinking of playing for the fans and playing for the spectacular, but finishing the game, batting with some measure of responsibility. Take it on yourself and not say, I'm leaving it for the other batsman. Not because you're in a comfortable position at the moment, because we have seen games where teams are in comfortable position, a key batsman or a key wicket is lost, and then everything falls apart for the team. I think players need to start thinking along those lines that, hey, yes, I've done the hard work, let me finish it, and develop a sort of discipline and attitude and approach to their batting, instead of saying, hey, I brought the team so far, the rest of the guys can finish it, and then when you look, they actually don't finish the job for you.
Yes, because although in this case they're likely to finish it because of the asking rate and so on, I perfectly understand what you're saying, because we've seen many times that situation developing and the teams losing because panic was setting and that sort of thing. And then once you come to the crease, then you have to make that adjustment. And what it does, it also gives the opposition a chance now to regroup
Yeah, but
and
I'm
to
not, I'm
assess.
not even looking at what the opposition may see, the opportunities the opposition may seize. I'm looking at you as a person developing a particular characteristic in your approach to batting, in your approach to the game, that you're always going to take on the responsibility of finishing the job.
Time Tong begins his second over, and the right arm fast bowler pitches one up to
And that might be the
Torrent
game, you
Bento.
know. You know that might be the game.
that might be the game, Edward.
Yes, that's a no ball, and the score is on 51. And if the 4 runs are added, that
51.
carries the 57, sorry, and that carries the score to 61. I'm not sure if the score went on to the scoreboard as yet. But
No, he went on to 57. He was
okay.
53. He was
Yeah,
53.
okay.
Here is Time Tong. And this ball is struck over the top, and it has gone down to the long on area by Darren Benter. And he got a single for it. The score now on to 58. So 3 runs required. So Benter, with that stroke, has gone on to 32. And Isan Warner on 10 comes into strike. So this is over number 8 in progress. We may well see a finish in this over. Isan Warner, the left-hander, is on strike as Time Tong, fast approach, goes past umpire Trotman, and the ball is turned away to mid-wicket, and they go for the quick single. Now, there's definitely an understanding between these two, because we have seen situations where balls are played to a fielder in that position, shortish mid-wicket, and then you have hesitation.
Yeah,
But
it
were
could be the fielder also that they've played it too. They, you know, at times when you're batting, you pick your fielders. You say, okay, I can take my chances with this fielder.
2 runs required. Over number 8 in progress. And it's driven into the offside, down to the wrong out position. They come back for the second, and that's the winning hit. So, the Golden Eagles, sponsored by Caribbean Union Bank, have rebounded well and very quickly in the ABCA T10 splash. They won their second game, and they won it in emphatic fashion. They won it by 10 wickets here tonight over Boland's. Boland's making 60 for 6, with Anthony Martin taking 2 for 5 in 1 over, and Bethesda replying with 61 for no wicket. Victory coming in the 8th over of 7.4 overs, and they won in convincing fashion tonight. Very well done.
Yes, a very, very comfortable victory for the Bethesda Golden Eagles and the CUB Bethesda Eagles, and I would say that a very good comeback from their defeat last night. The competition is shaping up nicely because Bethesda is certainly one of the top teams in the competition. They have lost 1, they have won 1. Certainly the PIC Liberta Blackhawks, another top team in the competition, they have lost 1 and won 1 also. So it definitely makes the competition more interesting to see which of the 4 teams will make that semi-final playoff or that playoff round to determine who the victors are. And, you know, at the end of the day, what we want to see is competitive cricket. We want to see good cricket being played. And also, we want to have something here that we can market so that the individuals who have been itching for some sort of sporting activity, that they can come out and witness some good cricket being played, and that they would not be let down and would not be disappointed with the type of cricket they're seeing played at in this particular ACBA 10 splash.
Indeed, they want to see value for money, and we saw value for money a short while ago with the run chase by Bethesda Golden Eagles. They certainly did so in a calculated fashion. The 2 young batsmen in Darren Benter and Isan Warner running very well between the wickets, and they got home at a canter. 7.4 overs, reaching 61 for no wicket. Benter was unbeaten on 34 at the end. And Boland, having made 60 for 6, Anthony Martin, the former West Indies leg spinner, grabbed 2 wickets for 5 runs, and he had just that 1 over. Earlier, Rising Sun beat Liberta. That's PIC Insurance Liberta Blackhawks, and New Winthrops had the better of Empire. The 3 matches played during the course of day 2 of the ABCA T10 splash. Action will resume on Tuesday, there'll be a break tomorrow. Tuesday, here at the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium at 5:30, it will be All Saints Pythons against Combined Schools. And then in the second game of the evening, Empire Nation will play Pickett's Crushers. Empire Nation against Pickett's Crushers at 7:30, after All Saints Pythons would have played Combined Schools at 5:30. The matches for Tuesday after tomorrow's break in the ABCA T10 Splash. We are happy to bring coverage of the action to you, and we'll be back on Tuesday for more coverage via Facebook of this, what promises to be quite an intriguing competition between the top teams of Antigua and top teams in Antigua and Barbuda. Until then, Jack Matthew, on behalf of all the commentators and all the scorers and all the technical staff members, saying goodbye from the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium.